So you click the video because you want to know which carb foods you should avoid if you want to lose weight. Well, in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly which carbs you should avoid on a low carb diet if you want to lose weight. Guys, I'm sorry for interrupting your video, but I just had to point some attention. I probably really didn't have to point any attention to the lint on my head in the video. I just noticed it as I was editing the video and watching it back. So don't pay any attention to the lint. Just enjoy the video. So I just had to point that out. Enjoy the video. Now, these are going to be specifically 5 high carb foods that you should avoid if you're trying to lose weight. Some of them you might be already eating, and some of them you might not have even known that these are high carb foods. Actually, a few of them on the list in doing my research actually surprised me because I thought they weren't that bad. And then after doing my research, I realized that they were worse than I thought they were. So stick around for the entire video because I'm sure you're going to learn something about the top 5 foods that you should avoid, or the high carb foods you should avoid if you want to lose weight. So, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so before we get into the video, my name is MrFitness, the body transformation specialist. And if this is your first time here, I want to welcome you. But if you've been here before, welcome back. On my channel, I talk a lot about weight loss. But I also talk about a lot of other things related to weight loss. So if you want the absolute best information on how you can lose the most amount of weight the quickest, then you're definitely going to want to consider subscribing to my channel and hit that bell notification so you never ever miss another weight loss tip. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into the video. So the first food on my list of high carb foods that you should stay away from if you want to lose weight is fat-free salad dressing. So a good rule of thumb if you're trying to stick to a low carb diet is to stay away from anything fat-free, and here's why. It's all about the taste of the food, and when they take out one thing, they've got to equal out the taste by adding something else. So when they take out the fat, they equal out the taste by adding sugar, because fat-free foods are absolutely, well, I can't say absolutely disgusting. Back in the day when when I first got into this industry, the fitness industry, probably back in the early 90s, that was when the fat-free thing was really going big in the fitness and health industry. And back then, like, for instance, protein bars, they tasted like, and you probably, if you're in my age bracket, and I'm in my 40s, if you're in my age bracket, you've tasted some of those protein bars that tasted like complete cardboard. Well, I'm assuming that food manufacturers didn't understand that then, that by just adding more sugar, you could equal out the taste of those protein bars. And this is just protein bars. So anything that's fat-free, stay away from it, because you can be guaranteed that if it's low fat, it's going to be high sugar. So in that instance, you can be better off having the full fat version, because you can be guaranteed that if it's the regular, quote unquote, full fat version, it's going to have less sugar. And this point right here is for a whole, this topic, or the point I'm about to make, is for a whole different video. And maybe I'll make another video on this topic. But the reality is, fat doesn't make you fat. If that was the case, then all the years when fat-free dieting became popular in the 70s and in the 80s, we wouldn't have the rate of obesity and health problems that are brought on by weight-related issues that we have today. Today we have one of the most obese, overweight societies, and I think part of that was brought on by the fat-free movement that started back in the 60s and the 70s. So, don't worry about eating the full, some of these foods you should stay away from completely, especially like, the fat-free salad dressing. So don't eat that. I'm kind of getting off topic because I want to drive it home that, just stay away from anything that's fat-free. But the first food on the list is fat-free salad dressing. But you're probably wondering, what do you have instead? Like, I'm going to say no one, but most people don't just eat dry salads. So what should you have instead? If I'm not going to eat regular salad dressing and I can't eat the fat-free version, then what type of salad dressing should I eat? So I'm going to give you my favorite salad dressing. All right, so my favorite salad dressing includes 4 ingredients, and those 4 ingredients are avocado oil. Then we have garlic, maybe not even 4 ingredients. No, it's not 4 ingredients. I think it's 3 ingredients. Avocado oil, garlic salt, and chili powder. Those are 3 ingredients. Those are the 3 things that I use in my salad dressing. For some reason, I'm thinking there's 4 ingredients, but there actually isn't. It's only 3. So again, garlic salt, chili powder, and avocado oil. It's high in healthy fats from the avocado, and it gives you so much less sugar, and the taste is, to me at least. I mean, so sometimes I do add some vinegar to it if I have it handy. But if I don't, normally I don't, because I don't have a lot of vinegar around. But if I do, I'll add a little vinegar in it, and that makes it taste, a little bit better. But the key here is that this salad dressing, to me, tastes good, and it's low in sugar and it's low in carbs. So I would say any spices that you like to use with some type of oil base. It could be, I just love avocado oil, but it could be, I guess, olive oil. You could use olive oil. I know some people do that. So that right there is my absolute favorite salad dressing. Give it a try and comment below what you thought. All right, guys, so the second food on my list, the second high carb food that you should stay away from if you're trying to lose weight is beer. Now, here's a fun fact about beer. Did you know that the average can of beer has as many carbs as 1 slice of bread? Now, that was something that I didn't know prior to doing my research for this video, but if we compare the two and the way your body processes them, which is worse? Now, in my opinion, the liquid form or the beer is going to be worse than the bread, simply because your body has to go through less of a process to digest and process the liquid, the beer. So what happens is your body is going to process that sugar, those carbs, much quicker, causing your body to store more of them. And again, when your body stores them, what does it store them as? It stores them as fat. Also, there's something called the thermic effect of food. And I've talked about this in previous videos, but simply what happens is certain foods cause your metabolism to rise based on your body having to digest them, based on how much you have to chew them and stuff like that. So with beer, again, has a very low thermic effect because of its liquid form and because of its high digestibility or its fast digestibility. So you're not going to get that metabolism boost from the beer as you would from a steak, because your body has to go through more of a process to digest and process the steak, as as it won't have to do for the beer. And I'm not here to be the alcohol police and tell you that if you want to lose weight, you can never, ever drink beer ever again. What I am saying is that you should drink it less often, or just drink less of it. But if you need your alcoholic fix, I completely understand. So here's what I want you to do. Instead of drinking beer, I want you to try dry wine. I'm not really into alcohol, and I don't really know the differences between wine, so I had to do a little research on this. But what dry wine is, and some of you guys might already know what dry wine is, but for you guys that don't know what dry wine is, it really, what it means is that it has no residual sugar because of all the processing that it goes through. So it has none of the extra sugar and extra carbs. And I'm probably going to make myself look like an idiot right now by trying to pronounce some of these dry wines. So I got some on my list down here. I got 3. And let me know down in the comments below if I'm pronouncing these right, which I'm sure I probably won't be. So the 3 driest wines that I could come up with, that I could find, are Pinot Grigio. Let me know if I pronounced that right. The second is Spanish Albarinos. Albarinos. I know I didn't pronounce that one right. But Spanish Albarinos. I don't know. And the third one is Sauvignon Blanc. I know the last one is Blanc. Sauvignon. It sounds like some fancy French name. But the last name is Blanc. So that right there is the 3 driest wines that you can have. So skip the beer, opt for the dry wine. Man, one thing I just realized about doing these videos in the car is it is getting hot. Like I had to roll down the windows. So it's going to take some getting used to. So the third food on my list of high carb foods that you should stay away from if you want to lose weight is milk. So generally speaking, when we think of high carb foods, we don't think of milk because milk is, the mascot for milk is the animal that produces it, which is the cow. I know I didn't have to tell you that. But milk has a lot of protein, and that's what milk is normally known for, is building strong bones and providing the calcium and the vitamin D and the protein. But believe it or not, milk is actually relatively high in carbs. For instance, an 8-ounce glass of milk has 12 grams of carbs, and that's pretty high, but the worst part about it is 11 of those 12 grams come from sugar. And I know, look, before I wasn't going to be the beer police, the alcoholic beverage police, and now I'm not going to be the milk police. So I'm not going to say that you can never drink milk, but again, it's one of those foods or one of those drinks that you should kind of limit on a low carb diet if you're trying to lose weight. However, there are some options. So instead of drinking regular milk, and I don't care if it's 1%, 2%, whole milk, skim milk, instead of drinking regular cow's milk, drink either almond milk or coconut milk. All right, so the 5th high carb food that you should stay away from if you want to lose weight is starchy vegetables. Now, because of their fiber content, vegetables are normally really good on any diet, low carb or not. But the ones that I'm about to give you, the vegetables that I'm about to give you, are the ones that you should definitely stay away from because of their carb content if you want to lose weight. So the main vegetables that you should stay away from are vegetables like yams, corn, beets, potatoes. Those are the ones that you should definitely stay away from because they have the highest carb content and also the lowest fiber content of most other vegetables. So instead of eating those vegetables, stick with your lettuces, stick with squash, stick with cauliflower, stick with broccoli. Those are the type of vegetables, string beans, those are the type of vegetables that you want to focus on if you're trying to lose weight on any diet. Because with these vegetables, you're going to get all the nutrition you need plus about half the amount of carbs of those other high starchy carb vegetables. And the 5th and final that's crazy. Hard carb. I don't even know what that ain't even. I'm making up words now. All right, so the 5th and final food on my list of the high carb foods that you should stay away from if you want to lose weight is beans and legumes. So I don't even know if I pronounced that right. Legumes, legumes, I don't know. But down in the comments, let me know if I got that one right or let me know if I got it wrong. So beans are kind of like a funny one because they're high in fiber. They're high in protein. So they're normally really good, but if we're just focusing on carbs, and yes, you can say that some of the fiber and some of the protein will kind of even out the carbs, but in a way they don't. So beans are good for you. Beans got a lot of nutrition, but they're also really high in carbs, so they should definitely be avoided if you want to lose weight. Now, really, any of these foods on this list you can eat, but you need to eat them in much smaller portions than what's recommended, or much smaller portions than you already eat. I think that's one of the biggest problems with most foods, not even high carb foods. We just eat too much of them. So you definitely want to make sure that if you're going to eat these foods, like beans, that you cut the portion size in half or even more. And really, like rice, if I'm gonna, like, I think a serving size is like a third of a cup or a quarter of a cup cooked. Like, that's absolutely nothing. So for me, you know, I'd prefer not to even eat it because it's really like a tease. So there you have it, guys, the list of 5 foods that you should stay away from, completely away from, if you want to lose weight. So question, which of the foods on my top 5 list are you going to eliminate first? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you're on the keto diet or you're thinking about going on the keto diet, then check this video out over here where I talk about the 15 best keto snacks for weight loss.